All right, everybody, welcome back. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. Today, we are going to cover a video that I did for Madden, but I figured for college football players, they may not see the video, and I think that these are some really helpful tips. So today, we're going to cover every defensive adjustment. For people who just started college football, maybe they're not aware of how to actually adjust your defense, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to make this as quick as possible, and we're just going to come out in dime normal Tampa 2, and it doesn't even matter what play we pick. Okay. So as you can see, we have a Tampa 2. We have two cloud flats, we have 3 hooks in the middle, and we have 2 deep zones, okay? So what can we do with our line? Let's start there. So to access your line, defensive line adjustments, you simply press left on the D-pad, okay? And you can see, if we go up on the left stick, we spread our line. If we go down on the left stick, we pinch our line. If we go left on the left stick, we slide left. And if we go right on the left stick, we slide right, okay? Also, we can go up on the right stick to slant outside. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this here so I can show this a little bit better to you. But slanting outside, okay? Note, see how our defensive linemen are now pointing outside versus crashing in? To slant inside, we go down on the right stick, and now you can see that they're crashing in, right? If we slant left, we are now going toward the left, and if we slant right, we are now going to the right, and that's either left on the right stick or right on the right stick, okay? We also have basically an L2, which is to clear the shift, okay? And those are your defensive line adjustments. So in terms of linebackers, all we have to do is press right on the D-pad. If we press right on the D-pad and up on the left stick, we spread our linebackers. Right on the D-pad, down on the left stick, we pinch them. We only have one linebacker in this formation. That's why there's only one guy moving, okay? If we go left on the left stick, we slide left. And if we go right on the left stick, we slide right. Very basic and very simple, okay? And we can zone all of our linebackers by going up on the right stick. We can blitz all, which will blitz every single linebacker. In this case, it's just one, right? It's our middle linebacker here, okay? We can blitz only our left outside linebacker, or we can blitz only our right outside linebacker by going either left on the right stick or right on the right stick, okay? So again, to summarize, to make defensive line adjustments, left on the D-pad. To make linebacker adjustments, right on the D-pad, okay? And you can clear all those by just pressing L2, right? So that's pretty basic, pretty standard, pretty simple. And boy, do I miss base align, just so you guys know. So those can be crucial adjustments, you guys. It doesn't, you think defensive line stuff is not a big deal. Well, defensive line stuff is a big deal. If you're trying to stop the run and you're crashing toward where the run goes, it can really help. Really quickly, if you want to contain your line, you just press R1 twice, and that contains your line, okay? So if you have a scrambling quarterback, this might help a little bit. We're finding out in college football, the rollout glitch is still in here, so containing doesn't help that much, but it does help, okay? And in some versions of Madden, it really helps. Let's hope it helps a lot in Madden 25. And really quickly, we're going to do R1. And what you can do with R1 is you can spread your entire defense. Conversely, you can pinch your entire defense, okay? And then you can shift left, or you can shift right. You can also guess the play. You can guess pass by going up on the right stick, and you can guess run up the middle going down on the right stick, or you can guess run to the right by going right on the right stick, or run to the left with going left on the right stick, right? And again, to shift your defense, you just go up on the left stick to spread, down on the left stick to pinch, right on the right stick to shift right, and left on the left stick to shift left. You can also press X to option quarterback, square to option running back, or R1 to quarterback contain, right? And so that's why when you have your defensive alignment, in default, you just press R1 twice and it contains. Now, let's talk about the fun stuff, okay? How do we make defensive coverage adjustments? And that's very simple. Just press triangle, and that gives you every defensive back adjustment that there is, okay? If we go up on the left stick, we give cushion. If we go down on the left stick, we press, right? Very simple and very basic. If we go left on the left stick, we're now showing 2, right? And don't worry about the play art. Yeah, anyway. So if we go over the top on our right stick, our defenders will now shade over the top. So these vert hooks here, or hook reads, these cloud flats, they will play more over the top, okay? Conversely, if we hit triangle and go down on the right stick, we're now playing underneath. So they will play more underneath. So if this guy comes out here in a corner, the defensive back will kind of cut off that pass versus playing over him, right? He'll play under him, okay? And these hooks here, theoretically, will play more aggressively. Now, in college football, if you want these things to play more aggressively, you're going to have to manually adjust your zone drops, right? Because they seem to have a mind of their own this year. They don't seem to play very aggressively even when you shade down, okay? That's just a quick tip. We can also shade to the outside. So if we shade to the outside, if this guy goes on a corner over here, he'll cover it a little bit better. And if we shade to the inside, which is left on the right stick, outside is right on the left stick, or excuse me, right on the right stick, inside is left on the right stick, they will play inside more. They'll favor it. It's not a lot, but it does make a difference, okay? And then you can do sticks, which is L1. And what sticks will do is wherever the first down marker is, it will kind of target that area. Okay, and I did a whole video on this if you want to go watch it. Okay, it will also essentially cancel out match coverage. So if you just want your zones to play how they're supposed to play, how you want them to play, stock, then all you have to do is hit L1. Okay, and that's really the biggest use that people have for it. You can also do individual adjustments, okay? So look at this slot receiver over here. So I'm gonna go triangle, X, and I'm gonna go R1, and I'm going to back off. Or I'm gonna go triangle, X, R1, and I'm going to press, okay? And what that does is that's making the adjustment for this guy here. We're already pressed, and you can't really press a slot guy. So that's why he didn't move, but trust me, that's what it does, right? So if we go triangle X, R1, and we go right stick to the left, we will now be shading to the left, right? So if we have him and we man him up on R1, right? Now he will shade to the inside more. And conversely, X, R1, shade right. Now Brooks will shade that slot receiver more toward the outside, okay? And that is really it for your defensive adjustments, at least in play, right? We reset the play, and I want to show you what you can do with these adjustments, okay? If we go triangle, triangle, R1, and then we go right on the left stick, we've now put him into a cloud flat, okay? If we go triangle, triangle, which is quick adjust, and we take square, and we put him on a cloud flat by going down on the left stick, now he's in a cloud flat, right? So if we're gonna do that, we're gonna go triangle, triangle, circle, and we're gonna put him into a hard flat by going left on the left stick, okay? So now we've created a Mabel on the right side and we have a cloud flat on the left. Okay? I'm going to move this guy just for fun's sake. Okay? So that's what you can do. So if you want to make individual coverage adjustments, you press triangle, triangle, and then you press, like in this case, L1, literally the character of the player that you want to adjust. And on this one, we're going to put him on, say, let's go ahead and man him up. So it's going to be up on the right stick, and then we're going to press X, and we're going to man him up on the tight end. So if we're going to do that, I'm going to go triangle, triangle, R1 up on the right stick, and I'm going to man him up on R1. Since we're doing that, I'm going to go triangle, triangle, circle up on the right stick, circle. And now you can see we manned up the tight end, the slot receiver, and the outside right receiver, right? And we already have deep zones, so we have a cover 2 man on this side, and then we have zones over here, right? So that's what you can do with these adjustments. Triangle, triangle, L1, and then we can bluff blitz, we can quarterback spy. Those are all right stick moves, or we can go curl flat, hard flat, vertical hook, seam flat. And that's for the left stick, okay? Now, as you'll notice, if I go down to my defensive lineman, I press triangle, triangle, it doesn't work. I have to press the left on the D-pad twice. Left on the D-pad twice, I'm gonna press X for the defensive tackle, and now I have coverage options for him. But you'll notice the coverage options are a little different. Vertical hook, hook curl, vertical hook. And it's either to the left or the right, okay? And that's just using your left stick, up, down, left, or right. You can put him into man coverage by going up on the right stick. You can blitz him by going down on the right stick. You can bluff blitz him by going right on the right stick, or you can quarterback spy by going left on the right stick, okay? It's the same thing for linebackers. Twice right on the D-pad, we're gonna hit square, and you'll notice now we have different coverage options with him. We've got a hook curl, a curl flat, a middle read, and a middle third. Okay, and that's all on the left stick. So let's flip up on the left stick. And now we've just gone from a cover 2 to a cover 3, right? So if we want to, we're gonna go triangle, triangle, square, up on the right stick, square. Now we have a cover 3 man, okay? I'm not saying that I advise this, I'm just showing you what you can do, because obviously the running back is not being covered in this case, right? And we don't have a player with which to cover him, right? Unless we use a defensive lineman, okay? I'm just showing you what you can do, okay? If we go back to our linebacker, that's right on the D-pad twice, square. On the right stick, we have quarterback spy, hard flat, blitz, or man coverage. So those are all of the defensive adjustments that you can make, and you can make a lot of cool stuff out of this, right? We can put those cloud flats, we can press triangle, and now you'll see global adjustments. These are global coverage adjustments. We can go down on the right stick to shade underneath, and you'll see we have hard flats now on the outside. Conversely, if we go triangle, 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 one triangle, triangle, there we go, and we go up on the right stick, like I told you before, we're shading over top, right? So we can take this formation and we can turn it into a cover 3, right? We've got a cover 3 there. Now we can use this guy. We can pinch our line. We can crash them out, or we can crash them down. In this case, we're going to crash them down, okay? And then let's say that we're worried about a corner out on the right side, so we're going to go triangle, triangle, circle, and we're going to either do a cloud flat, or we could put him in a soft squat if we wanted, but we're just going to do a cloud flat, which is down on the left stick, okay? So now we've got a cloud flat over there, and we're going to put a hard flat on square, which is triangle, triangle, square, left on the right stick. So we've got a hard flat on the left side and a cloud flat on the right side. We've got a cover 3 setup. And if we really want to get cute, we can go triangle, triangle, R1, up on the right stick, R1. So now we've got that guy manned up. This is actually a pretty decent defense, right? We're free to roam however we want, and we have to make sure that we cover the middle of the field here. But we don't have to worry about going deep because this guy here, this linebacker, is set into a middle third, which really frees up our user, right? So that's how to make adjustments during the play on field. Let's go ahead and check some of the pre-play adjustments. Okay, so we're going to press the right stick in, and we now get our coaching adjustments. These are our defensive coaching adjustments. We can auto flip the defense. We can turn that on or off. Our quarterback matchups, balanced, overall, speed, height, route running, depth chart, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of messed up right now in college football. I would stick with balanced. Okay, if you start doing this stuff, you're going to get some wonky stuff going on with your play art. Okay, the motion response, we can go by default, or we can disable it, right? So if we go by default, we're going to actually realign in response to motion. If we disable it, we won't realign. Option read key. Conservative. My recommendation is conservative always. You can go aggressive, balanced, or conservative. Conservative always on the read key, okay? So it focuses on the quarterback. Conversely, the pitch key, we can do balanced, conservative, or aggressive. I would recommend aggressive because we're going to focus on the pitch option. So now we're focusing on the quarterback and the pitch key, right? Strip ball. This is one. You can go balanced, conservative, or aggressive, okay? I recommend balanced. What a lot of people do is they'll go balanced on one and aggressive on the other between strip ball and tackling, okay? So some people will do that. I always leave it balanced, okay? But if you go conservative, you get sure tackles, but you don't attempt to strip the ball. If you go aggressive, there's a much higher chance, it's a higher chance of them breaking a tackle. There are so many broken tackles in college football this year. I don't recommend going aggressive unless you are desperate. There's not much time left and you're down, right? Tackling, same thing here. Balanced, conservative, or aggressive. If you go balanced, which is what I do, it's just going to be normal, standard gameplay conditions, right? If you go conservative, they're going to be conservative tackles. You might allow a few more yards here or there on tackles, but you're going to have a sure chance of making the tackle. If you go aggressive, there are higher chances of broken tackles and your defenders being faked out. But you might get a fumble, right? So you have to decide what kind of player you are, right? This is my setup. Auto defense, play call off, right? Or flip, auto flip off, balanced quarterback matchups, default motion, conservative read key, aggressive pitch key, balance for strip ball and tackle. And now we go to the last three. Your flats. You can leave them at default. You can set them to 0, 5, 10, 20, 15, 20, goes on and on, right? All the way up to 30, I think, yeah. So same with curl flats, all the way up to 30. And then your hooks. So if you choose to use these, okay, I would put flats at 0 or 5, okay? They do not play very aggressively this year, as aggressively as I would like. Sometimes they do, but it does kind of help when you set these to 0, okay, or 5. But that's what I would do. It helps with RPOs, that type of stuff. So let's just go ahead and put it at 0. Now for curl flats, this one you can set to, 20 is a sweet spot, 25 is a sweet spot. In Madden 24 this year, a lot of times we'd be setting them at 30. But I would say 20 is your sweet spot in college football, right? Because we have these route stems now, right? So you don't know the depth of these corner routes. 20 is pretty safe, right? And so I think that's the sweet spot there. And then if we go to these hooks, this one, honestly, 15 is kind of the standard, but these hooks, at least from what I've seen so far, unless they patch this, these hooks are not playing aggressively, you guys. That's the little green zones in the middle of the field. Even when you shade underneath, they're not playing aggressively. And when I set them to 15, I don't feel like they're playing aggressively. 10 is probably the sweet spot, okay? Go into practice mode and test this out though, because I'm finding I'm having some success with 5-yard hook curls, right? It seems like they're actually playing more like 10-yard hook curls. Again, they could patch this, and again, I could just be going crazy, but that's my opinion, okay? So if we go back in here, you can actually change your packages, okay? You can change your package by hitting the right stick to the right, and now it subs in a right outside linebacker. Look at the numbers, right? The left outside linebacker, it swaps cornerbacks. We do sort of a linebacker pass rush, grouping, a safety swap grouping, D-line sub, cornerback inside, 4 defensive ends, linebacker rush, right? For me, generally speaking, if I'm going to do something, it might be a safety swap. But basically, for dime, I go for just default, right? So when we come to select a play, notice something here. We have RS, right? That's your shell, the right stick. Right now, it's set to default. You can go cover 0, cover 2 man, cover 2, cover 4, or cover 6, okay? If you come out cover 0, your safeties will drop down closer to the box, and it will look very much like a man formation. That's what I've been using so far this year. You can go and cover 2 man, you can go and cover 2, and it gives basically sort of a Tampa 2 look, right? Cover 4, it'll give a cover 4 look. Cover 6, it'll give a cover 6 look, right? I go with cover 0. And you want to have something. You want to come out and have every defense look the same. They took out balanced, base align. They took out base align this year, okay? Which is actually not a bad thing because the meta blitzes, we don't have them nearly as much. Yes, there are a few meta blitzes out there, but they can be picked up because on the flip side on offense, we have better offensive line adjustments, okay? So we can counter a lot of these meta blitzes that they've found already, that people have found already. But in general, I think that taking out base alignment is actually going to be helpful for the game, and I really hope it's helpful in Madden 25, okay? So that's the video, you guys. Short, simple, but for those of you who don't know, now you do. I hope this video has been helpful. Be on the lookout for the next one, and as always, have a great day.